BTS's Jin deeply moved Wendy. After doing this moment, the K-pop world was once again shaken by an unexpected yet emotionally charged incident. BTS's Jin, who had just completed a stage performance with Wendy, created a touching moment that brought the Red Velvet singer to the verge of tears in front of him. The private meeting following the concert immediately became a hot topic across various platforms, sparking an emotional explosion from more than 50 million fans around the world. What exactly did Jin do to move Wendy so deeply, and why does this moment feel so significant in the emotional dynamic between the two? There were no media cameras, no official agency publications, yet the news spread rapidly. According to an internal source present backstage, after finishing a duet performance as part of a special collaboration concert between two major labels, Jin and Wendy chose to leave the venue without media escort and went directly to a restaurant they had privately reserved. However, what made this event so emotionally stirring was not just the intimacy of the moment, but the private conversation that took place, which was eventually leaked to the public through insider testimony. Jin, known for his warm demeanor yet guarded emotional expressions, was reportedly engaged in a serious conversation with Wendy regarding his repressed feelings during the difficult period after his military service. In the conversation, which was said to last over 2 hours, Jin reportedly expressed his admiration for Wendy, not merely for her professionalism on stage, but for her resilience in facing the pressures of the entertainment industry. A source, who wished to remain anonymous, revealed that Jin even offered an apology for a past incident that had never been disclosed before, leaving Wendy silent with tears welling up in her eyes. Wendy's emotional response became the turning point of the meeting. She reportedly held Jin's hand and said, "I didn't expect you to remember that. Thank you for being human, not just an idol." That simple yet meaningful sentence has now gone viral in various fan forums. Many believe that Jin showed the deepest side of his personality, not as a member of the world's biggest boy group, but as someone capable of recognizing, acknowledging, and mending past emotions. The moment became even more emotional when, according to the same report, Jin handed Wendy a small notebook. The book supposedly contained short poems he had written during his military training, a form of self-expression previously unknown to the public. One of the poems leaked on social media even read, "In the midst of silent footsteps, I remember the soft voice that never left me." Many fans believe that the poem was dedicated to Wendy. Fans' reactions exploded. On social media, hashtags such as #JinWendyMoment and #50 million hearts crying dominated global trending topics for over 24 hours. Many admitted they couldn't hold back tears while reading the transcript of their leaked conversation. Fandom discussion forums were filled with analyses, event reconstructions, and even speculation regarding a deeper emotional relationship between the two. However, one undeniable fact remains. This moment revealed the deepest side of two idol figures who have always appeared so strong in the public eye. Various circles have labeled this event as a new definition of emotional sensitivity in the K-pop industry. In an entertainment world that often prioritizes a perfect image and flawless performance, Jin's courage to express his deepest emotions directly to Wendy, without a script, without cameras, and without formal agency arrangements, was considered a rare, even revolutionary act. Not only as a gesture of respect toward Wendy, but also as an honest statement about himself and his fans. Several Korean entertainment industry observers also praised the way Jin conveyed such personal messages in a very private moment that eventually became a public lesson. It serves as a reminder that idols are not entertainment machines, but humans who carry wounds, memories, and a longing for genuine connection. For Wendy herself, her response demonstrated sincerity and acceptance that collectively moved millions of fans. Now, a big question hangs in the minds of the public. Was this merely a fleeting moment of warmth, or the beginning of a more complex emotional bond between these two major stars? Will Jin's openness become a new example for other idols in navigating relationships among fellow artists amid the pressures of the industry? One thing is clear. A dinner moment initially intended to be away from the spotlight turned into an emotional turning point that touched millions of hearts. Jin didn't just touch Wendy. He opened the eyes of many to the importance of having the courage to express one's deepest feelings and the tremendous impact it has on those who have only known idols from behind a screen. To readers and fans, this moment is not just an emotional drama between two artists. It's a call to reflect. How often do we delay saying important things to people who matter to us? How often do we hide behind formalities and lose the chance to make someone feel truly appreciated? Jin did it. And in his courage, he made 50 million hearts cry. Did this really happen? Jin and Wendy's moment made 50 million fans cry. But the truth is still in question behind the sentiment and the public's emotional explosion over BTS's Jin and Red Velvet's Wendy's moment. Said to have touched the hearts of millions of fans, lies a more important and fundamental question. Did this event really happen as reported? Or are we being served an emotional narrative deliberately constructed to attract attention, virality, and public consumption? This question is not only worth asking, but must be the basis for dissecting every piece of information that spreads widely in today's digital age. It's important to note that so far, there has been no official statement from either HYB or SM Entertainment regarding the truth of the story about the private dinner between Jin and Wendy, including the reportedly emotional conversation that took place that night. Most of the information comes from anonymous accounts on platforms like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Twitter threads that spread massively but provide no visual proof or factual confirmation. Are we facing reality? Or are we becoming victims of a narrative intentionally crafted to stir mass emotions? This phenomenon brings us to a major dilemma in the landscape of social media. How do we differentiate between fact and fiction when the line is so blurred? We must ask, do these information sources have credibility? Are touching quotes like, "Thank you for being human," not just an idol, truly spoken? Or are they just strings of words created to build a dramatic and moving narrative? If the moment truly happened, it undoubtedly showcases the humanity of Jin and Wendy. But if it didn't, the question becomes more serious. Who benefits from spreading this narrative? Is this part of an indirect marketing strategy, or just an algorithm game to attract clicks and user engagement? Could we, the viewers and fans, have unknowingly become tools in a machine of virality? We cannot ignore the fact that in today's era, emotional content has immense reach. Short videos featuring dramatic narratives about Jin and Wendy, even without concrete evidence, have been viewed millions of times in a short period. Even serious discussions about their relationship, the poem Jin gave, and Wendy's tears, all unfold without verified grounding. This is where the urgency lies, to cultivate a skeptical and reflective attitude in approaching every piece of information. Have you ever verified the source before resharing this narrative? Are we, as consumers of information, responsible enough not to believe instantly just because the content moved us? Are we perpetuating a culture of believing because it's viral, without realizing the consequences for the artists' reputations? Ironically, even online media now often spreads information sourced from unofficial platforms without first attempting verification. Many articles quote TikTok videos or anonymous user comments as primary news sources. This raises a bigger question. Has the media industry transformed into an emotion reproduction machine without quality control? Amid this overwhelming speed of information, where does the truth lie? If Jin truly gave Wendy a poem and they emotionally discussed past wounds, that moment is indeed significant and should be appreciated as emotional maturity from two major idols. But if not, we must reevaluate how easily public consumption of moving content can be exploited to create a domino effect of virality. Are we building reality or reinforcing a collective illusion? We must also critically assess how global fandoms, as massive and passionate as ARMY and Revelove, often become highly vulnerable to manipulation through emotional narratives. Have these fan bases become primary targets of such stories due to their intense loyalty and emotional involvement? Are we witnessing collective emotional exploitation in the name of idol love? These questions are important not to cast doubt on fans' feelings, but to protect the integrity of their experience. Crying because you're touched is a human response, but falling victim to a false narrative is a much more painful form of disappointment. Therefore, critical thinking is not cynicism. It is a mechanism of self-protection from information manipulation. To our readers and fans, we once again remind you that all information reported in this article is obtained from various unofficial sources, including short video content on TikTok, Twitter threads, YouTube user comments, and several online forums. None of the events reported have been verified by the related official parties. We present this information not as absolute truth.